today's video, I wanted to catch you guys back up with all the progress we've made here in the shop since I brought the bike, the frame, the motor, everything back from Corey Main Drive's house. I want to show you all the stuff that we've done here at the shop. Mind you, we only have 4 weeks from today before I need to be on the road headed to Durango, Colorado. I'm not worried. I'll be honest with you, I'm not super worried. It is kind of like it's like an adrenaline rush. Every day you wake up and you think about, okay, what did I get done yesterday? What is still on the to-do list? That's always a good thing to have in a bike build. It's something that you feel very connected to, like like you've raised it, like you brought this thing to life. And yeah, I'm feeling that for sure. I could see me and this bike having a very long relationship together. That was the goal from day one, was to do an FXR that I never really wanted to get rid of. Anyway, hope you guys like the bike, the stance. This is pretty much how it's going to be sitting for the most part. I'm absolutely in love with it. I think this is, in my opinion, one of the best stances on a FXR Chopper that I've seen. It feels kind of weird to say it about your own bike, but like I said, it's something that I envisioned, and some of it I didn't. Corey brought the rest to the table. The stance of this bike, the look of the rear fender, the Frisco tank, the cowl fairing. It has a performance club stylish chopper look, but with still like that tough guy chopper vibe that I've always been a big fan of. And even though it's not de-raked, it still has a de-raked look, because we didn't actually stretch it out anywhere. We just went straight up with it, which kept the stock rake. So ultimately, I am absolutely stoked about this build. I hope you enjoy watching all of us in this FXR Tour process, build these bikes. With the exhaust system, to be completely honest with you, every avenue I tried to go down to find someone to help me with the exhaust, it just seemed to lead nowhere. I've been following this JMD Tubes on Instagram for quite a while, and they pretty much make prefab bins and straights in stainless steel, so I just decided to order up the stainless steel myself. I borrowed my buddy Matt, Hazmat Designs, you've seen him on here before. I borrowed his TIG welder, which is ironically the exact same TIG welder that I used to have that I had to sell in 2018. It's a long story. And basically I bought a cutoff, just like a miter saw cutoff thing, which does not give you clean cuts, but for the price and the money that I ended up having in the tools and the pipe, I can't beat the savings. So I had an idea, I had a vision of how I wanted this pipe to look. I bought a little bit more pipe than I knew I was gonna need, just in case I had screwed up, which I definitely did. For the most part, I was confident in my ability to weld stainless steel, but the first handful of welds, not so much. I'm proud of them, so I'm gonna leave them on there so that everybody can make fun of me and keep it real. Now, I did not make the muffler, and you're not gonna believe this, but you can buy that muffler on Amazon for 50 bucks. Stainless steel, TIG welded with the baffle on the inside for 50 bucks. For $64, you can buy this one. That is insane. That is a pie cut stainless steel exhaust system with a baffle on the inside that you can easily just cut off the stuff that you don't need to use and remodify it yourself, as I did on this exhaust system. The cleanest welds on this bike were probably done by some lady in China that does it all day long. Anyway, hate that I had to go that route, but unfortunately, like I said, with the time constraints that were on this build and the fact that I didn't want the bike to be sitting in someone else's shop for another week or two, I just used the resources that were at hand to, solve the problem. So at any rate, the exhaust system is very tight on the motor, which I wanted. It has a nice flow with the lines of the cam cover. It's really tied up with the mid controls, which we ended up going with Booster Brad's mid controls on this bike. I guesstimated where they were gonna sit because I didn't have them here when I built the exhaust, and I just tried to keep everything low enough so that I didn't have to worry about having any interference issues. Now, when it came to making an exhaust bracket, this is where believe this or not, I've never welded steel before. I've only welded stainless steel. Everybody said it was 10 times easier than welding thin wall stainless, so and they're right. It's way more satisfying to weld steel. For the most part, I built an exhaust bracket. To be fair, I built 4 exhaust brackets, and each time I felt like I got better and cleaner. I'm not saying that this bracket that I made is perfection. I know how to clean it up and make it look that way, but in its raw form, it is definitely a messed up piece. Fortunately, the exhaust bracket is going to be getting powder coated, so with a good grinder, maybe a couple more welds here and there, I'll be able to clean that thing up. Then we're going to send it out to Hazmat Designs to get a nice coat of probably wrinkled black powder coat on that. I need to buy a welder. I'm interested to hear from you guys which welder you think I should go with. For light duty stainless steel, mild steel, and maybe some aluminum welding. So I'm open to your suggestions for that stuff. With this being a late model twin cam, so this is coming out of a 2014 bagger, we had to figure out a solution to be able to go back towards a carburetor. I could have went completely fuel injected, fly-by-wire, just did all that stuff, but I really didn't want to deal with all the wiring, and I love the feel of a carbureted bike, and I'm looking forward to that on this. And so what we ended up going with is Thunderheart, which is also Thunder Max. Thunderheart makes a unit that runs off of the crank position sensor, giving the correct timing for the firing order and whatnot of the bike. So we went with the Mikuni 42, which I picked up from FXR Division, the entire kit. We went with the Ness air cleaner, which fit the Mikuni carb just fine. I've ran the Ness on the last FXR, and I obviously have them on the bagger and the ST right now. So, big fan of their parts. These like cushioned pegs are so comfortable. I'm running them on my bagger, on my ST, and I'll be running them on this FXR as well. They absorb a lot of vibration, so you don't feel it in your feet as much. We went with their brake calipers front and rear. I'm still waiting on the rear caliper. They have a 100mm radial caliper. I was able to get Frank from the speed dealer to make me a rear bracket instead of the traditional 108. We went with the single disc on the front, which we're running the Ness 4-piston caliper. I've been running the Ness calipers on my lowrider ST, and I know that I haven't done an official review of the bike and my experiences on it over the summer. Spoiler alert, the Ness calipers are absolute fire. They stop on a dime. I got the 2 6-pistons on the front and I think a 6-piston on the rear. I think it's a viable option for people that are looking for a custom look and actual added value and stopping power. So check those guys out, Ness. We have an offer code if you listen to the podcast. Save yourself some money on that. So that's gonna wrap up today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I know that I'm enjoying this whole process, and I'm very, very stoked to be able to share it with you guys. And yeah, we'll see you on the next video, which should be some more interesting stuff. All right.